Welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch, episode 247.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome.
Yes, welcome. If you're new here, please say hi down below.
Now here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way, every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, everybody. I feel like this Monday is more Mondayer than recent Mondays. It was a little bit of a challenge. We've had some challenges this morning, but you know what? It's the Christmas season, and actually, I need to roll it back because this says 24 days until Christmas, and it's actually 21 more days until Christmas.
21 days.
It's happening.
You should be happy you had lobster yesterday.
I am happy about the lobster that we had yesterday. I could have lobster every single day, especially with delicious butter.
Especially when it's free.
Free is good. Free is my favorite. Wouldn't it be nice if you got, as a kid even, I enjoyed the thought of free. Like, do you remember when Toys R Us and Lionel Playworld used to have those like supermarket sweep?
Oh yeah.
There was like this annual thing where you could be like, if you win the prize, you get a shopping cart and you get to go down all the aisles and just get whatever you could pick. Even as a child, I was like, I like that kind of a budget, right? Like, I thought that was
cute. Did you used to secretly like plan out like how would you do it?
Yes, absolutely. There was a strategy.
Where would I go first?
Yeah. So what was what was the first place you would go? I see a little...
Find all the little things.
Coffee.
Because if you got the big things, you were going to not be able to fit it in your cart, and then you're going to have to spend time to Jenga it in. Whereas if you got all the little expensive things first, like video games, Lego sets, get all the little stuff and put it in the cart, and then you can throw the big stuff on top. But if you get the big stuff first,
you got no room for it.
You got no room for it.
Okay, so that's an interesting strategy. So when you said little stuff, I was thinking you were thinking cheaper things first. No. I mean
small
items. But expensive. And that was a little bit my thought too, was like go for the expensive
things. Like go for the Barbie dolls, not the dream house.
Right. Because you got to have to fit the dream house in there somehow. I like that strategy. What would your strategy be if you were a kid and you were like going to supermarket sweep the toy store? What would you do?
So welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch. I got to overcome my Eleanor yesterday. High five.
Your Eleanor?
My Eleanor. So in the whole year,
your Nick Cage
for diving,
Eleanor.
I've got like 170 dives at this point since January. And the one place that I've really wanted to go diving is this wreck that sits at 130 feet of water. It's called the Lady Luck. It's a huge wreck, and it was donated for like the shipwreck program.
Yeah.
And to the local casino. And then they basically, they keep making statues. They keep hiring local artists.
It's like Fisher
gambling. To do welding statues and put them on there, and they sink them, and then they go weld them onto the wreck. And there's things like sharks playing poker.
Right.
And cocktail waitresses that are dressed like mermaids, like holding things up. They just
really
put
neat.
Like an underwater old-fashioned scuba diver with a big helmet and everything on there. And for some reason or another, I've never been able to get on the wreck. Every time I've gone...
Bad weather,
rough seas, too many divers already on the wreck. My friend passed away. So like there's always been something. And then the last time I did an ultra deep dive, I got something called nitrogen narcosis. So I haven't wanted to go ultra deep again. And when I say ultra deep, I mean under like 115 feet or so. And so I went yesterday to get my certification to teach deep diving. And it was on that wreck, and it was a gorgeous day.
Nice.
Like little rough seas on top, but zero current on the bottom. And it sits in the Gulf Stream itself, so usually there's bad currents. 100 feet of visibility. And then the second dive,
ideal situation.
We dropped down on a reef sitting in 90 feet of water and literally landed on lobsters. Like we literally landed on lobsters.
could it get any better?
Right.
I don't think it could. So talk about like a great day.
Talk about keto giving you your health to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch. Keto Beyond the Couch is all about subscribers. We love to celebrate subscribers' wins, answer questions and comments. If you are new here, welcome, first of all, yes. But what we do is we don't pay too much attention to the chat until the very end, like the last 10 or 15 minutes, we'll address the chat. So if you have a question, hold off till then, or you can use the super chat function, which is the $ that's in the chat window. When you do that, it does benefit the channel, which we greatly appreciate. This is our full-time job. But more importantly, what it does is it highlights our screen so that we don't miss the comment.
Exactly.
Now, today's Keto Beyond the Couch does have a sponsor. Super excited about this one because, number one, I love the company. I love the owners of the company. But honestly, I'm just really excited about what is coming out. That is the purpose of the sponsorship. So today's video is sponsored by Keto Brick. If you don't know what Keto Brick is a 1,000 calorie meal replacement bar created by our good friend Robert Sykes, also known as Keto Savage, and his wife Crystal Sykes. And it is perfect keto macros. It's 1,000 calories. It's like 80 or I forget 90 grams of fat. I have one over here. I can look. But very, very clean. Most people don't eat the whole 1,000 calories in a sitting. They like make it into smaller portions. I usually just eat like a half a brick a day. I was eating one on the dive boat yesterday. And
I make them pucks.
That looks like a candy bar. And I'm like, it's not a candy bar. It's actually really good for you. But we really, really appreciate Keto Brick for sponsoring today's video. And the reason we're sponsoring is because there is a new flavor of Keto Brick coming out. And this one excites me.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm hoping this becomes a permanent flavor. We have not tried it. We're going to try it right now live on camera. We haven't tried it, but I'm hoping it stays a permanent flavor because in the note that I got from Robert, this is the flavor that Crystal's been asking for 3 years.
This is something that I have been wanting for this time of year, but it's like, you know, I'm not in charge of new flavor development.
I don't want it for this time of year. I want it for all year because one of my favorite things of all time prior to keto was Andy's candies.
Yeah.
Right? So I would go, you go to restaurants, they would have one, but then you go to the store and you buy it.
It's
and
my
you buy
grandma's
that whole
favorite
box, and I would just unwrap every one and eat them all in a sitting.
Right.
And I would unwrap them all before I started eating them because I wanted to be able to go one after
boom,
another.
Boom, boom.
Right? So the flavor that is coming out is white chocolate peppermint.
I'm very excited about this.
White chocolate peppermint. Now this flavor is coming out on Sunday, December 10th at 12 noon Central Time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I know it's 1 p.m. Eastern Time because at one point I thought it was 12 noon Eastern Time, and I actually left church and went and sat in my car to place my order. Because it used to be you had to go refresh.
And I'm like, where's Joe?
Right?
In his truck,
you
buying
try
keto
this?
bricks. Yes.
So white chocolate peppermint. And
it is indeed white.
They do use different types of protein powders depending on what flavor it is. And so right now, probably our favorite is Bell's Brownie Batter, which uses a beef organ blend.
And it's good. It's not, just because it's beef organ blend does not mean it tastes like, you know, guts.
This one is using whey protein. So usually the whey proteins are softer and have, I think, a better texture.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, I get first bite?
Oh, I was going to let you smell it, but you can have the first bite.
Mmm. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That is nice. Mmm.
Mmm. And the mint's not overwhelming.
It's not toothpaste flavor.
No.
You know how sometimes mint can go
Andy's
wrong?
candy flavor.
That is really good. Wow.
So this will be coming out on Sunday. This is coming with us on our camping trip.
It is definitely a white chocolate.
It's white chocolate.
It is not. It's not milk chocolate peppermint. It's got a white chocolate flavor to it.
But it's the mint flavor is definitely like more. It's subtle. It's there, but it's subtle.
It's in the back. It's on the back note.
That's
so
really good.
You bite into it. First flavor is white chocolate, then peppermint.
I don't know if this is a limited edition flavor or not.
That was good.
So I would advise you to go ahead and get them when they come out on Sunday because a lot of times new flavors are gone by Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Use the link down below. When you use the link down below and the code 2krazy ketos, you will actually get $12 off your order of multiple bricks.
Which is pretty cool.
So that is really cool, and that's a special coupon code that they've given us, but you got to use the link down below to get
I
it.
know that you enjoy eating the keto brick as like, you know, a bar.
I eat it as a bar if I want something sweet, and also when I'm just on the go and I don't have time to eat a steak, that's where I use Ketochow or Keto bricks.
But I really think that this one is primed to be in those silicone molds, and I'll tell you one further. My good friend Miriam Bear from Ketochow, she has some silicone molds that are tiny. Even more tiny of them. Some of them are like so stinking cute. They're like shaped like bears and stuff. And bears for the bears. And she will melt her keto bricks down like that.
Yeah.
Because they travel well and pack for her lunch.
The only problem with that is she has the kitchen with the storage.
Yes, but I'm
to
just
to store all the. I want all the cute molds.
But
we
I'm
have no room.
But I'm just saying that I think that this flavor in particular would be perfect for those little molds.
Holidays.
Because it feels like it really did. That's probably feels more like a candy that I've had from a keto brick.
Bell's brownie batter.
That one's delicious too, but that reminds me of cake.
Yeah.
That doesn't remind me of candy.
But keto brick is really good so that like holidays coming, you want to put something out on your table for everybody. Melt down a bunch of keto bricks into little cute molds.
That would make
and
a cute present for somebody for like a stocking stuffer.
Let's move into keto. Be on the couch. Before we do, I did see this comment and I just wanted to address it from Linda. Said I saw a video about a frozen meat slicer. It shaved the meat into thin chips. Has anyone used one? So there's electric ones where they say frozen meat slicer. I will tell you, unless you get one over 300 watts, they're okay with frozen meat, but it definitely takes a long time. You want to have like partially frozen meat for those. Anything under 300 watts or maybe 250 watts, like you're gonna have a hard time with frozen meat if it's frozen solid. Now we just recently, it's funny you put this up there. It just got delivered the other day. I purchased, just for the purpose of a review, it wasn't given to us, but we purchased a manual frozen meat slicer.
Yes.
For the people who don't have an electric meat slicer,
we want to see.
This thing was like $40.
Yeah.
And you manually shave the meat. So that video will be coming out probably over the weekend. Or next week. So look forward to that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. So we're going to review it, see if it actually works. Because I don't want someone to go spend $40 or $50
That's the biggest
and have it not work. Because the reason you really want it is to make like your carnivore chips, right? So let's move into Keto Beyond the Couch. We're going to start off with our Keto College Adjunct Professor of the Week. This one's from Jessica.
Hey, Jessica.
Said, learning to love our bodies is difficult, especially when we are abusing them with our poor diets. I'm far from perfect, but I'm learning to love my body and listen to it when it tells me something that I'm giving it is not showing it love.
Oh, wow.
And it had a love note to my body. First of all, I want to say thank you for the heart you kept beating even when it was broken, for every answer you gave me in my gut, for loving me back even when I didn't know how to love you, for every time you recovered when I pushed you past our limits, for today, for waking up.
Wow, that is powerful. And you know, it is not okay for us to decide we're going to disrespect ourselves by not liking ourselves. Like that is not going to, like, you're not going to hate yourself to better health. You are not going to be mean to yourself and make a lasting change. Like, if you really want to realize your goals, you are going to have to just break down and decide that you are going to be on your team. And that has been a really big challenge for me. I could absolutely say, hey, I am just going to do the right thing and put it on repeat and just do it and like just be diligent about doing it. And I thought that I could just, that would be enough and I would never have to authentically like myself. I could just hate myself in the midst of doing what is right. And I'm telling you, it is not going to get you all the way to your finish line. You are going to have to decide that I am going to find something about me that I like. And one of the reasons why it doesn't work is you can even have success, but if you don't like yourself when you look in the mirror, you will choose to not notice the wins. You will only focus on what you still have to do, how far you still have to go. And even the wins, like you will lose weight, but be disappointed in how lost weight even looks on your body.
Right.
So you are going to have to decide, I like me, and start making a case for that. And I like how that poem sort of begins making a case for it. Start with your organs. Start with the things that you don't see. Like, hey, I'm really glad my heart is beating. Thank you. That even though I've experienced heartbreak over my lifetime, this heart didn't stop for that. Like, we kept beating. But, maybe that's a good place to begin until we can finally get to the outside.
Yep. The subscriber of the week this week is Pam.
Hey, Pam.
Pam said, I started keto July of 2017. When I retired, my gallbladder was acting up. Every time I ate carbs, I would throw them up.
Wow.
I looked for a diet that limited carbs, and keto popped up. I lost 71 pounds. I stayed keto for 4 years. Sugar cravings took over my life. I stopped keto from 2022 to the middle of 2023. I gained 30 pounds back. I found 2 Crazy Ketos July of 2023. I dropped 15 pounds quickly. I'm still 15 pounds heavier than the pic below. And I'm okay with this. I'm eating right and I'm feeling great. Keto is no longer a diet. This is how I eat. I'm so thankful for Joe and Rachel. They tell it like it is, so here is my truth. I crave diet pop and sweets. Ketochow is a lifesaver for sweet treats. No need to cheat if it's keto. I just ordered Element and I hope to limit diet soda one step at a time.
Pam, you are doing incredible. And I mean, you look fantastic, but it's the attitude. It is your attitude, your mindset shift that's taken place, which is absolutely incredible. Like, if we can all get into that mind space, we will make this a lifestyle and not a diet. Like, what an incredibly great attitude. So proud of you.
Next one is from Jody.
Hey, Jody.
Jody said, this shirt is a size large. I've worn 2 to 3 XL most of my life, including childhood and teen. Ketochow has made my journey
Yay,
easy.
Ketochow.
Even my shoe size is smaller. Ignore my face. I was focused.
Oh, Jody, I love your face. I'm not ignoring that beautiful face. You look incredible. So proud of you, lovely friend. I'm loving those leggings. I want those leggings. Those are really stinking cute. I love those. And yes, I am so glad that there's things like Ketochow that make it possible to sustain this way of living.
Ketochow is great because it helps you in those moments when I don't have time to cook. I'm on my way out the door. So like yesterday, I got up. I'm going diving. I got to be at the boat at 7 a.m. because I want a parking spot, even though the boat doesn't leave till 8:30.
Hashtag goals.
And I want my spot on the boat. That's the most important. I want to be next to the ladder. So that's the times where I'm on my way out the door. I don't have time to cook eggs. I don't have time to eat a good, complete keto meal, so I can grab a Ketochow and drink that while I'm driving. It shouldn't be your only source of nutrition. It's not designed to be your only source of nutrition, though you can. It's not the best way to lose weight. The best way to lose weight is have a Ketochow and then eat meat.
Right.
Same thing with Keto Brick.
Eat meat.
Speaking of Ketochow, before we take a quick break, I did want to mention, I saw somebody saying something about chocolate malt. Chocolate malt's almost sold out.
Yeah, so if you're interested in getting
surprise
some
flavor chocolate malt,
yeah,
almost sold out. Rachel's like, do you want to give some to family members? I'm like, no, because I don't know if it's coming back, and I don't have that much.
No, we will see.
Like,
we will see.
I will.
Do they sell out? Then we'll give it when we see that.
I will gladly share Ketochow of all of the ones that I have in there, unless it is a
limited
flavor that we don't have anymore, like butterscotch. Like, I'm sorry if my son, if your mother, if anybody asked me for butterscotch, sorry. If Chris and Miriam asked me for some butterscotch,
sorry.
The answer is no. No. Because I have like 15 of them, and then
you're hoarding them.
I am absolutely hoarding them. If you want black licorice, you can have it. Well, actually, I gave it all to Miriam. But we have some peach. What was that peach one? We have some of those. Cream? You can have them. You want them? You can have them. But you can't have the flavors I can't get anymore.
And not butterscotch.
Let's take a quick fade to black.
I am fascinated with fascinators. Do you like fascinators? When I see them, we went to the Kentucky Derby Museum, and I was like, I want to buy all of these things.
Yeah, I know. You wanted all the dresses.
All of the dresses.
And all the hats.
And every hat. I want every single hat.
I did see this from Luann. Luann said, what do you think about Kelly Clarkson weight loss on Vista Keto and ACV gummies? I think it's a scam.
Yeah.
I think it's a scam. I think all of those keto gummies, they're scams. They slap people's faces on. They pay a ton of money to these people to put their face on. You're not going to lose any weight on a gummy, apple cider vinegar gummies. That's kind of hysterical. Even the ones that truly can be okay on keto, all they are is they're putting a touch of exogenous ketones in there. There is no food, okay? No food that puts you into ketosis.
It's hard work.
If you take exogenous ketones, use products like Prove It, they're not going to put you, I should clarify that statement. They're not going to put you into nutritional ketosis. They might put you into ketosis temporarily because you're giving yourself ketones, and ketosis is, the definition of it is using ketones for fuel, so it will use those for fuel, but then they're gone and you're right back to yourself. So all of these products, whether they're gummies with Kelly Clarkson's name on it, or they're Prove It, or they're Perfect Keto ketones, any company that tells you you can take this and still eat Oreo cookies and be in keto, they're lying.
Yeah.
Okay? They're lying to you. It's not going to help. You don't need it. Like all of these bottles and stuff that are like keto gummies, put you in ketosis faster, run from them because they're a scam.
Well, and I like developing better habits in eating that can be sustained no matter where I'm at, or even if a product becomes like discontinued.
Right.
So if for some reason, let's just say that this is the Wonder Dream product.
Right.
Let's say it did do what it's claiming to do. What happens if they stop making the gummy? What are you going to do?
Right.
Like, I have to do
Hopefully
something.
they don't discontinue beef. They're trying.
Right. But like, I can still find meat, a little bit of veggies for entertainment purposes, as Chris says, a little bit of fruit. Like, I can find that no matter where we are. So
Right.
that is what I want to lean on the most.
Yeah. Now, I want to even clarify further, because somebody right now is typing, what do you mean no food puts you in ketosis? No food puts you in ketosis. None. Not even beef. Beef doesn't put you in ketosis, okay? What I mean by that is there is no such thing as a keto food. There isn't. There's no food that you eat and it puts you into ketosis and ketogenesis, where your body is creating ketones from the fat. There's keto-friendly foods. Beef is a keto-friendly food. Eating beef will help you get into ketosis and ketogenesis because it doesn't have carbohydrates. And when you're completely telling your body like no carbs for you, it will use the fat and create ketones. But the beef itself isn't a keto food. It's a keto-friendly food that if you only consume beef, you will get into ketosis. So for all the keyboard warriors that are telling me I'm wrong, there's why I'm not wrong, okay? Let's start off with the first comment from Pamela.
Hey, Pamela, I love 2KK because they warn you about things that can derail your keto journey. Thanks for saying that, Pamela. They always admit that they did not always make good choices. I love that their reviews tell me if they are showing has clean ingredients. Net carbs have hurt me. I no longer weigh myself unless there's a reason to look. Eat the meat. Move. I appreciate all that I'm learning, except you did not tell me what the mystery Ketochow flavor is. Sorry about that, Pamela.
I did want to look real quick on this new flavor. 13 total carbohydrates for the whole 1,000 calories. Now, again, sounds like a lot, 13 total carbs.
But break down 1,000 calories.
But that's 13 total carbs for 1,000 calories. Most of those keto bars out there, even things like NOLA bars, they're like 10 to 13 carbs for 200 calories.
Right. So
that is huge in there. And by the way, the fiber that's in there is a fiber that I would deduct, although I don't ever deduct fibers, because it's gum acacia, and it's got 6 grams of fiber. So if you were going by net carbs, it's like 8 net carbs for 1,000 calories. Next one's from Mare Bear.
Hey, Mare Bear.
Rachel, as much as you love coffee, I'm really surprised you don't have videos about keto-friendly coffees. I'd love to know your favorite Nespresso coffee pods, iced coffee, hot coffee. What would be a great coffee treat that's keto-friendly? Please do a video.
Wow.
We do have some videos about coffee and about how we make our coffee. And we got a cool one coming out tomorrow. But listen, coffee in itself, unless it's got sweeteners in it, all coffee is keto friendly. There is carbs in coffee. Don't listen to people who tell you there is. There's about 1 carb in a cup, and a cup
hate
is
that.
actually 8 ounces, not a Rachel cup.
It's
okay?
more like this kind of cup.
So even that is probably bigger than a cup.
Now, this cup, I'm not using for coffee. I'm using for water because I want this much water and I want Joe's Stanley mug worth of
That
coffee.
one there.
Yeah,
Right?
that's how much I want of coffee.
So there are carbs in it, but it's minimal. It's like 1 carb, So, but all the Nespresso coffees, they're all keto friendly. There's no sugar in them. We bounce around. We look at you like the vitamin B one.
Yes,
And then
I do.
we usually get like the chocolate, the vanilla. I really like the mint one that's only out for Christmas. I like the what's the other one?
There's a spice
the raspberry one for Christmas.
I do not like the raspberry.
I love that one. But then this year there was like a vanilla cream holiday blend. We ordered 4 boxes. I think we have like 1 left. And I went to get more, and it's sold out. We need to go to like Macy's and see if they have any left.
Last year on Instagram, I showed myself opening up the Christmas advent calendar.
But it's too late.
Yeah, but I showed that, and we talked a little bit each day about different flavors if you're interested in that.
That was probably my favorite advent calendar because so many, like the cheese advent calendars, we don't buy them anymore because they always have the same, like, there's like 4 cheeses throughout the thing, whereas that was literally a different pod every single day.
I think that if we took ourselves into a more bougier store and got some sort of like a cheese calendar that was very expensive, but we usually would leverage like ones we found at Aldi.
Yeah.
And so it was like, you want cheddar today or mozzarella or a piece of Parmesan. Like it was very like bland flavors.
The other thing that we really like is like bourbon barrel coffees, whiskey barrel coffees.
Yeah.
And that's where they take the coffee beans and they toss them in old whiskey barrels and they pick up the flavoring from that whiskey.
Yeah.
Next one is from Sandy.
Hey, Sandy, I'm curious to know when chips or any meat is ready to take out of the dehydrator. How dry should they be?
Depends on what you're looking for. Beef jerky should be mostly dry, but not completely dry, because beef jerky should be chewy. So, whereas if you're making our carnivore chips or Rachel's meat thins, that is going to, you want it to be really, really dry. It's going to be kind of hard to overcook it because you're cooking it at just 150 degrees. So, like, you're not going to burn it. You're just going to keep drying it out. The longer you go, the more like a potato chip consistency it's going to be. If you follow our videos and do the temperature that we tell you, which is like 156 to 163, whatever your dehydrator top temperature is, for a minimum of 4 to 5 hours, you're going to be good. You don't have to go 10 or 12 hours unless you slice it too thin. If you're doing what Rachel's favorite thing, like the meat thins.
That is my favorite
where
thing.
you're taking basically, what are they called? Steakums, and you're putting them in there. 4 hours. That's all you need. It won't get any drier beyond 4 hours. Believe me, I've had times where like it was done. Like, I go in at, like, say, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I know I'm not supposed to be up that late, but, and it's like, oh, it's going to be done in 30 minutes, but I'm going to bed. I've cranked that sucker on for another 5 hours because this way, let it just keep running while I'm sleeping. It's no different in the morning. Like, when they're dry, they're dry. So, 4 to 5 hours if you're slicing your meat 1 to 2 millimeters thin, or if you're using the steakums, that's all you need. You don't need to go anymore. Next one is from Miss Truth Seeker.
Miss Truth Seeker, Rachel, you have truly blossomed. Social anxiety, and now you're speaking on stage. What a powerful testimony. That is, like, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. And yeah, that I feel like I am taking something back. It feels very empowering to have that victory of, when you have struggles with mental illness and you have struggles with anxiety and you feel like you have been locked inside of your mind and locked inside of your house for far too long, the fact that now keto has unlocked the door for me to go out and live a fuller life. I want to fully commit that life to serving others. Like that is what I want to do. And I feel like every time we take the stage, it is such a victory moment that all of the past like labels of failure on my life is just, it's a lie. Like that, it can't be true because we're taking like new ground in the victory area. Like that just feels so good. So thank you for saying that. I see that it is Risa's birthday today. Can we sing happy birthday to Risa? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Risa. Happy birthday to you and many more. So many more.
See, I'm not the only one. Sarah says she's hoarding the butterscotch Ketochow too.
I love it. We are on the final countdown before Ghost comes to stay.
So, I just wanted to touch real quick. We're going camping this afternoon, so we're trying to get through Keto Beyond the Couch in a reasonable amount of time. The one thing I wanted to say about Rachel and being on stage, if you would have known her 6 years ago, you would really know the miracle that it is. Like, even, like, for those of you who may be new, we used to be children's pastors. When we got that position, Rachel had to get up in front of the volunteers and introduce herself and say, these are the changes and this is why children are so important to us and what our goal is with the ministry. We had 6 volunteers, I think.
At that time.
Rachel was so nervous about speaking in front of people. First, she was vomiting for like a week just thinking about it.
Just thinking about the meeting.
This is long before our channel. She made me take her to the park and we filmed different things. Like, this is why we do this, and these are learning styles, and about, train up a child in the way he should go. And I edited this video together, and Rachel stood up in front, not even stood up in front of him. She went to the side. Hi, my name is Rachel. We're the new children's directors.
Here's what we want to do.
And here's what we're going to do, and watch the video because she couldn't speak in front of people.
And you
vomited before doing that.
And you would see the volunteers go like,
why are we watching a video when you're right here? Yeah.
You're right here.
But she couldn't speak in front of people.
I literally could not open my mouth.
Keto completely changed that. Next one is from Esther.
Hey, Esther.
I drink coffee, but I do not like it without cream.
Okay.
I use heavy whipping cream. I could do without skinny syrup, but not the cream. I need to figure this out and try beef, butter, bacon, egg. And this wasn't a beef, butter, bacon, egg video, but I wanted to put this in here. This would not work on beef, butter, bacon, egg, but a lot of people ask, what do you use for coffee creamer? And we've done videos. We actually have a video about different ways that we make coffee using like powdered Ketochow, egg, butter. We tend to not use a lot of heavy whipping cream because number one, it has carbs, and because all heavy whipping cream has carbs. And number two, a lot of heavy whipping cream tends to like affect my tummy and bloat me. So tomorrow, make sure you are subscribed to the channel because tomorrow we have a video coming out on how to make your own coffee creamer.
Right.
And when I mean, and without heavy whipping cream. And what I mean by, like, listen, prior to keto, we didn't drink coffee. We drank creamer with a little bit of coffee.
We tried, yes.
Like the coffee mate.
Coffee flavored creamer.
All the flavors, like the peppermint mocha, pumpkins, all of them. Go look at the ingredients on that. Aside from the amount of sugar in them, they all use
oil.
Seed oils. So tomorrow's video is going to show you how you could make your own coffee creamer. Get your coffee back to that really creamy consistency you like.
Yeah.
Without adding a whole bunch of heavy whipping cream. Have it flavored. And also without significantly adding a ton of calories. Because as much as I love butter in my coffee, I need 1 or 2 tablespoons to get it creamy the way I want. Now I've made my coffee 200 calories. I've given myself 20 grams of fat just in my coffee. Right?
So is there something different we can do? Find out tomorrow.
Yeah, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you have the bell button turned on so that you're notified when that video goes live. Let's take a quick fade to black.
I just want to give a shout out to all the mama clauses and the papa clauses that are out there making the holidays happen, because somebody has to drive the kid taxi and somebody has to make sure that everybody gets to all of their rehearsals and all of their extracurricular activities, and also do the regular things of life. So I just want you to know we see you and we think you're doing a great job, and Santa could not have done any better than what you're doing right now.
I'm facilitating Christmas this year by making all of my presents.
I know, I'm super excited about that.
I'm 3D printing all my presents for
But
people.
don't you remember when I felt like we were never
It's a step
home.
above the paper mache.
Do you remember when it was like all we were doing is taking one kid to one obligation after another for 24 straight days?
Next one is from Sean.
Hey, Sean.
It took me a while to believe this. I thought I would never recover from the mistakes of my past, but now I am getting healthier and starting to reverse the bad things that I did. Sometimes it takes a while. You may think it's a life sentence, but you have to be patient because sometimes it takes a while to learn that lesson.
Sean, that is such an important reminder. Thank you. Yes, we need to get patient. And I'm telling you, I did not become so unhealthy, so gravely unhealthy overnight.
Right.
It really did take decades of abusing my body and consistently eating the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it's going to take consistency in doing the right thing and keep doing it maybe for years. I always say when people are like, well, I don't know, how much I want to invest in this. And I think a true experiment is you got to give it as much time as you gave the last experiment. So you gave the Sad American Diet a certain amount of time, give keto that much time.
Next one is from Morgan.
Hey, Morgan. My 8-year-old has decided on his own that he wants to try keto. How exciting. He has always had a super sensitive stomach, and he and I hopes it helps. He also heard Dr. Chaffee talking about how keto kids are taller than their peers, so he's hoping for that. How nice. Anyway, he's on day 4, and it's been hard on him around family and friends snacking and eating sweets. Even Sunday school, they get snacks. I was hoping I could get some ideas for snack foods for him that will help him feel like he's not missing out. I'm getting pork rinds, string cheese, raspberries, and cashews. Can't eat nuts at church. For him, I was wondering if the 2KK community had any more ideas for us. Any ideas are much appreciated. Thank you.
I think you're on the right track with things like string cheese and raspberries and cashews. Listen, he's a child, okay? So he's 8 years old. He can have some things on keto that us adults who have completely stressed out our metabolism and have all kinds of metabolic issues because we were under eating or we were, we put ourselves into pre-diabetes. He can have things that we can't have. What I mean by have things, give him a little bit of fruit. I'm not saying a lot of fruit. I'm not saying have him eat 6 bananas a day.
Right.
But if he wants some strawberries, some raspberries,
That'll
he
pack
wants,
well.
when it's locally grown in season, like January if you live in Florida, let him have an orange every once in a while. It's a different type of sugar. Not good for, be clear, not good for all of us who were pre-diabetic and have had issues our whole life because we were overweight. He's 8. He can manage it more. He can probably eat 100 to 150 total carbs a day so long as it's good whole food and still be in ketosis.
Right.
Not the case for us adults. Our grandbaby, Peyton, she can do that. Michelle, who is, 30 years old, can eat 100 total carbs a day and still be in ketosis. Why? Because she doesn't have the metabolic issues that we have. She's, a CrossFit trainer, so it really depends on the person. Now, if you want things other than the pork rinds, that's where things like Keto Brick, today's sponsor, can come in. Get some keto bricks, melt them into the little cute molds that Rachel's talking about, and then when all of his friends are eating chocolate,
he can
have that. I think that is much better than any of even the keto chocolates that are out there because of a lot of the keto chocolates, I think some of them have wonky ingredients and they really raise a lot of people's glucose, whereas something like Keto Brick is not. Ketochow, they have a recipe on their page. Shauna makes it all the time for fudge. Mm-hmm. So find a good clean chocolate chip, make that fudge, but just giving him that little bit here and there. Things like NOLA bars. Those are all things that I think that'll be good and he won't feel like left out. Butterbake Bake Company, right? That's their new name. I always forget her new name. I'm so sorry, Whitney. I'm just always going to remember Just Made
Just
Keto.
Made Keto.
Right? But makes amazing desserts, so there are different things that are out there. You can make yourself mug cakes. We have a recipe on our channel for a cinnamon roll mug cake.
It is so good.
That is so good.
Then you can make it and then just like cut it up. But I will say, I was in kids ministry for 30 years. So I have helped to transition a ministry completely away from a snack time. So if you're in kids ministry, or you go to a church and it has a kids ministry where they give out snacks, and maybe that kids director would be open to talking to me about like what is let's brainstorm how we can transition away from this protocol. It is hard to think of a time. I can remember, when we were contemplating how are we going to get rid of handing out candy in kids ministry. And that was like, it can't be done. Like, this is every vacation Bible school, food craft has got to be like a rice cracker with frosting on it and candy corn eyes and like all of these things. And we transitioned out of that. So it can be done. And I would love the opportunity to like sit down with anybody that is over like a kids department and is like, hey, we're open to transitioning out of this so that nobody has to have this challenge of like, what do I eat when everybody else is eating a lot of snacks and junk?
Next one's from Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne.
I'm halfway through week 3. I'm down 13 pounds and 18.75 inches so far.
My gracious.
9 weeks left on this challenge for myself. Then it might be triple B&A.
Okay, Dwayne, I'm just going to tell you, whatever you're doing.
Keep doing it.
Keep doing it. I don't even know if you need to jump ship on what you're currently doing and then like head to triple B&E. It sounds like you're doing pretty incredible. I don't think I would like pivot, but I mean, I can't see from what you're saying, what exactly you're doing, but it looks like it's working. Seriously.
Next one is from Debbie.
Hey, Debbie. Hello, family. My favorite Ketochow cheesecake recipe is Joe's, bar none. I think my personal favorite is the chocolate toffee one, but both are great. I just wondered, has anyone made the same recipe with other Ketochow flavors? If so, what flavor did you use that you thought made a good cheesecake? I also made a raspberry one using raspberry cheesecake, and I'm thinking about using a peanut butter or chocolate peanut butter to make one as well. Recipe on Ketochow's site or on 2KK site as well for either chocolate, toffee, or blueberry. Debbie, thank you so much.
So all of the flavors, all of the milk protein flavors make a good cheesecake. I wasn't as happy with using the beef protein version. Some people liked it. I just wasn't as happy with that version of making it that way. But any of the flavors, whether it be the new chocolate malt or butterscotch, raspberry cheesecake makes a really good one, especially if you put some chunks of raspberries in there.
Yes.
Peanut butter, like chocolate peanut butter. Here's a little thing you can do. Take some peanut butter, put little dollops. And when I say little dollops, I mean like half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon. Put them on a piece of parchment paper and freeze them.
Right.
And then you're going to mix that into your mixture. Same thing with berries. When you want to put berries and stuff into your cheesecake, my advice is freeze it and then mix it in, because then when you bake it, it won't just be goo. So like the peanut butter, chocolate, things like that, freeze it first and then put it on there. It just kind of delays that process. Same thing like if you're going to make mozzarella sticks. When you make mozzarella sticks, you want to freeze them before you cook them, because otherwise the cheese is going to melt before they get brown.
Right, the
Same
outside.
kind of principle. But all of the flavors work. It really comes down to what do you like? Everybody likes different things. Like you go to places like Cheesecake Factory and say like, oh, I don't know about that one. But other people will be like, that's amazing.
Well, and it depends on
like
my
peanut
mood.
butter and jelly.
Because chocolate and the chocolate peanut butter makes a really good cheesecake. But I also sometimes like the key lime and the mango, because it makes that like nice and bright type of cheesecake. So either way, like I like the tartness in a cheesecake.
Next one's from Alyssa.
Hey, Alyssa.
I am so struggling right now. I've been struggling with the carb creep since July. I decided to take a break from keto for Thanksgiving. Now I can't seem to get back on track. The sugary cravings are back, and while I'm not anywhere near where I was pre-keto, I know if I don't rein it in, I'm going to spiral out of control. Any advice on getting back on track? Yes. the advice is just get back on track. Like there's no, I don't want to sound harsh, but there is no weaning yourself in. You just make the decision, I'm done with that, and I'm going to go back to eating strict keto. Like, because this is why, and I'm not knocking you.
Not at
this
all.
is why we say holidays, don't go off of keto.
Because it's really hard to get back.
Maybe open yourself up, allow yourself to eat a little bit more food. Like, don't try, like, our whole thing for December is don't try to lose any weight.
Ho,
Like,
ho, ho.
stay keto.
Just be
So
keto.
don't try to lose any weight. Just try to keep on keto. What I mean by keep on keto, don't eat bread. Don't eat pasta. Don't allow yourself all the sugary treats that everybody's eating at this time of the year. You want a sugary treat? Get yourself something from Butter Bake Company. Get yourself some keto cookies. Make yourself our cheesecake and have something there, but at least you're not introducing the sugar. The problem is when we get to these holidays and people say, I'm going to go off for Thanksgiving, even if it's only for one day. For many of us, it becomes very difficult to go back on because we've given ourselves a taste for that again.
I think that even though it's hard, like if you're trying to create a new habit, you're trying to like move forward with this, your habit begins at the grocery store. So you have to decide, like, I am not purchasing anything that I would not want to eat in front of Joe and Rachel Stauffer. If I'm not going to sit down and eat this with them, then I'm not going to put it in my cart. It doesn't
and we're far from keto police.
We're far from keto police, but you know what I mean. It was funny when we were on the cruise, the low carb cruise this past year. There was somebody that went on the cruise that has watched us as a subscriber, but was not on the low carb cruise. And when they saw us, she literally in the dining room was like, well, crap. What are you doing here? Right. I didn't want this to be the cruise because now, like, I'm going to know you're in here. So leverage whatever it takes, but that may be something that you could bring with you to the grocery store and just say, like, don't even use us. You could be like, I don't want to eat something I wouldn't eat in front of Dr. Barry. Right. Like that sort of thing. And I'm going to say something that could be inflammatory, but here's my advice. Don't buy something even for extended, like your family members, and bring that into the house. Even if you're like, yeah, but my husband really likes to have this treat during the holiday season, or these are my kids' favorite cookies during the holiday season.
Let them go get it on their own, or don't give it to them.
Let them get it on their own, or they can just do without it and trust that when they go to places like school or outings or functions,
they're going to have it anyway.
They're going to have enough stuff anyway.
Yeah, and again, keyboard warriors, got to head them off. When someone says, oh, well, my kids are little, they can't get it on, then don't give it to them. Okay. Listen, if our kids have a sugar addiction, it's one person's fault.
It's my fault.
It's our fault. It's not our kids' fault that they have a sugar addiction because they, as we just said, can't drive themselves to the store to get it. Yes, we can't control what they're having at school, but we can control what they're having in our house. And so, I know Rachel's making all these different recipes lately. I love the fact that she's, really having fun in the kitchen. She's trying something new.
I'm trying.
Because the whole joke is, and it's been true our entire marriage, she can't cook. And she's teaching herself how to cook and throw ingredients together. But I know when I open up the refrigerator, if there is food in there that I know that Rachel prepared and the kids have put stuff that they make in a separate spot, I can have it. Because here's the rule in the house. If we cook it, it has to be something that we can eat. You will never see us prepare food for Anthony and Caleb, who still live at home and they're in their 20s and they're adults and I can't control what they eat. If they come to us and say, I want you to make me regular chocolate chip cookies, no. But it's my birthday, no. The answer is no. We will not cook something that we can't eat because this way I know, like for example, the other night, I was ready to eat. Rachel went to bed at 6:30 and I'm like, I'm hungry. We haven't eaten today. And I opened up the refrigerator and she had her hamburger casserole soup. I ate it. I didn't have to go wake her up and go, can I eat this?
Okay?
Because I know if she's preparing it, it's something that I can eat. Whether or not it has cheese is completely different. But there's no breadcrumbs in it. There's no wonky oils in it. That it is not something that's going to derail my journey. And that's what we have to do, is just go in your house and go, when I cook,
It's going to be safe.
if you have a significant other and they say, I want chocolate, sorry, you go buy it yourself.
Put your pants on, zip them up, and go to the store and
If you
get
care
it.
about me, you will help me in this to not derail myself.
And it's hard. It's a hard decision. But I will say that I live with a lot of guilt. I want to help people make different choices than we made, because I can tell you, I know that Caleb has such a hard time breaking his sweet addiction because of the things that I did as a parent.
Right.
And when he came in last night, I'm going to start crying, but like he had recently bought something online that was like, that helps with migraines. It was basically like a hat, and that like you can freeze it and then go, when you start to have a migraine, like put it on, and it like provides darkness, some cold, some tightness, so that you can get through it.
It helps with the throbbing.
It broke my heart because he still needs that, because when he was like doing keto his senior year of high school, he had not one migraine.
We know that his migraines,
yes,
it's coming from his diet.
Yeah.
But he's 22 years old.
And it's
hard. I
hard.
can't control what he eats. He knows the answer. He just doesn't want to give up the sugar.
And it's a hard thing to break, but it makes me sad because I know he has
our fault. He got there because of us.
It's my fault.
Now that he's an adult, it's on him because he knows the answer.
But I hate the fact that I gave my child an obstacle.
Right.
So if you have young kids, I know that this is going to be hard to like go a different way than other parents are going right now, but I don't want you to have the regrets I have.
Right. I mean, look at Peyton.
It's a different situation.
Peyton's parents
for her
are
now.
like, we're giving her whole food. You put up that video short last week of her last year of food. Her birthday dinner was a tomahawk steak. I've never had a tomahawk steak.
Right.
Okay? And that was her birthday dinner. She had tomahawk steak.
And Michelle gets flack for it because her baby's lunch looks different than other baby lunches. And Michelle's just decided, like, I don't care. Like, don't like it. If you don't like it, look away, because this is what we're going to feed them. And I think she's going to have a lot less regret later than I have currently.
Next one's from Sean.
Hey, Sean.
I would like to get your input on an idea I had. I would like to call December 26th Commit to Keto Day.
Like commit. I love it.
Yeah. I am planning on posting on my social media pages to get all my friends and family to commit to keto.
Nice.
I think it's important for people to not wait for New Year's, because New Year's resolutions don't usually last.
Yeah.
Starting the day after Christmas gives them more of an opportunity to succeed. They can use all of their empty boxes to take their processed food to local homeless shelters.
Brilliant.
And they can start eating healthier before they even get to the new year. I have lots of friends and family that would benefit greatly from the keto lifestyle, but they need a lot of help. I'm hoping this idea will give them a push in the right direction. I want to do this.
Sean, we're joining you.
We're gonna join you.
So December 26th, we're gonna do it. Commit to Keto Day. I love this.
I love it.
And we're absolutely doing it. And you're right. And I'm going to tell you, that week from December 26th to December 31st, there is usually so much damage done that on
I think it's
January
worse than Christmas.
January 1st becomes so much harder because of what you're trying to get yourself out, the fog you're trying to get yourself out of from December 26th
I love it. It's
to
just
31st.
like Halloween. It used to, when our kids got a little bit older and we were still eating that kind of stuff, but starting to think about things, would be like Halloween. Here's the deal with Halloween. Whatever you want, you have a day, you have 2 days. And then on Sunday, we would take it all and give it away. Give it to church.
Give it away now.
Our friends who were at Peyton's birthday party the other day, they have 7 children. He was like, what we do with Halloween, they get it for a day and then everything goes to the firehouse.
Right. And he was saying, like, man, I hate that, because he's like, now it's at work. Right. But it's like, but
yeah,
get it out of the house.
I love that idea. Next one's from Ola.
Hey, Ola.
Non-scale victory leaving work. I survived the poison on a plate one of the appreciative patients brought us. It was on the desk right next to me. My coworkers were eating a piece every few minutes. I heard Rachel saying, this is not for me.
I love it.
I would have been stealing, which is how I fought the urge to partake. happy weekend.
Ola, thank you so much for saying that. And yeah, I hope other people can use that as well. Like, let me be the bad guy. I can shoulder it. Let me be the bad guy in your mind that's saying that's not yours, because that really helps me. If I, when people are like, hey, there's a lot of, things that are troublesome at work, especially during this holiday season. Like the break room feels like a minefield because there's so much stuff set out. And like she's saying, this was from someone who's so thankful and grateful. They want to show their gratitude by bringing in a treat. They would like to treat you to something. So it's not like it's malicious intent. It's just going to be very undermining unless you prepare a way to deal with it. And it helps to think to yourself, this is not for me. The thank you was they brought it into my space. I received the thank you from this generous heart. I received the acknowledgement that I've done a good job and served them in an excellent way. But as far as the food inside of this box, that is not mine. That belongs to somebody else. And if I eat it, I'm stealing from them.
Next one is from Larry.
Hey, Larry, another non-scale victory. I have begun to notice 3 of the chairs I use most at work and home are big man size. Before starting this health journey, those were even too small. Now I have room on either side of my thighs, and I don't get the indentations on the outside of my thighs when I get up. Praise God. Woohoo. Be thankful, be safe, keto on, and God bless.
I completely can identify with this because listen, I used to go through a lot of office chairs even before our video. Like I was like playing video games. I always wanted those really fancy video game chairs because I was way into video games with the kids when they were little.
Right.
I wanted those fancy. I remember the razors. But they had a weight limit.
Yeah.
And so I always had to go to Office Depot and buy the big man husky chair. Like, it's bad enough when you have to shop in the husky or big and tall store.
But even in the office
But when you have to go to and you have to buy a chair made for a fat person, right? And it's like, oh, that's got a 250-pound weight limit. I'm too fat for that chair. I got to go find a different chair and pay an extra $200 for the 400-pound weight limit. So, like, when I was able to not have to buy, like, I tend to still buy ones for heavier people because I feel like they're better made. But when I didn't have to buy that anymore, like, when I bought my chair that I have now, it was like I didn't have to spend the extra $500 that the company was charging to have it for more overweight people, because I have the X chair, which is hopefully the last chair I ever need to buy. But it's a great chair. It's really helped with my posture, but it was not cheap. And the thought that I could just go on and find a base one, it really meant a lot.
That is a huge win, Larry. I still look at chairs when you talk about how you look in the mirror and sometimes you still see your 300-pound self.
Oh, is it going to break when I sit on it?
A lot of times when anything is to do with furniture, I am like looking for, and that's why even in a restaurant, I will go to a bench. I usually go to a bench. If you've ever gone out to eat with me, I'm looking for the bench because chairs, I've broken chairs. I've broken chairs in a restaurant. I've broken chairs in our home. And so being able, like you said, to just go shop in a normal furniture section is really rewarding. Like, I remember when we were getting these chairs.
Yeah.
And the fact that like we could sit in it and it fit.
And fit.
We were afraid though, remember? Because we're like, I think we got them from IKEA, and I remember us going like, could an IKEA chair hold us?
Yeah. Next one's from Audrey.
Hey, Audrey.
Just wondering, would 32 days of beef, butter, bacon, egg make a person fat adapted? How do we know if we're fat adapted? I'm curious. Mine today. I think I left this in from last week. And as we said last week,
it helps.
It'll help, but it doesn't make you fat adapted. What makes you fat adapted is 3 to 6 months minimum of not eating carbohydrates. Next one is from Mel.
Okay, so I hadn't weighed in a week. The other day I noticed my pants feeling a bit looser. Yesterday morning I got up and weighed right away, and I had to do it twice because I didn't believe the number at first. Just under 4 pounds down in a week. That seemed like a big drop all at once, especially since it's the second half of my cycle and I don't tend to lose then. But I think I could have had a lot of inflammation for the week or two before that. I had bad shoes causing me pain in my feet, which I've replaced. And I also had a nasty sore throat for a few days. So maybe it's not that unreasonable to drop that much in just a week.
And that is absolutely true. The only thing we always want to tell people, listen, good weight loss is a half a pound pound to a pound a week. If you're losing more than that, that's awesome. Many times it is inflammation. It's water. It's difficult to lose more than a couple of pounds of fat in a week, of actual fat. Okay. But that's what makes like the whoosh so great. Like when you get started on keto and you hear people say, well, I lost 10 pounds in the first week. It was all water weight, but yes, it's water weight. It's not fat, but that gives us the motivation to keep going.
It does. Well, and I hope that this challenges somebody that's listening, that if you're like, man, I really feel like my diet is on point, but I still feel like I'm not seeing, changes that I want to. Have you looked at other things? Because you can see she noticed there was inflammation that had to do with improper shoes.
Yeah.
So we talk about that. Is it other things? If you feel like in what you're eating, you're doing the very best you can do, start looking around at other things. Are there things that is causing inflammation, like wrong shoes, not getting enough sleep, maybe, you're not letting go of some stress, maybe there's some unforgiveness that you're like, I'm going to have to let this go and move on. Maybe there's a hard conversation you need to have because it's probably something else. And once you figure it out, you change your shoes, whoosh, happens.
Yep. One more. It is from Kathleen. Said, I saw this on Laura Spout's page. It's so true. After you lose the weight, you are not done. This is forever. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts.
Absolutely.
Winston Churchill.
I love that.
Okay, let's get into some of the chat comments. JJ said, non-scale victory. I bought a size 38 pants yesterday,
Yay!
which is the size I wore when I graduated high school 30 years ago.
Talk about a victory. Oh my gosh. As soon as you did that, were you like, okay, we need a high school reunion. Like right now, if I can get back into the high school outfit, we need a high school reunion right now.
Carrie said, thanks, Rachel. I learned that the hard way. I've had some help to make better mindset for myself, and now I like myself
That
better.
is awesome, Carrie. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Joanna said, Rachel, I love your video with your mom. I wrote down the recipes and I will make them this week. They look absolutely delicious. Thank you. And congratulations, Joe, on your certifications.
Thank you,
we
Joanna.
were talking about this morning, we just got our website kind of hopefully not going to go down as much.
A stressful
we
mess.
changed host companies. And so one of the things that I'm going to start doing, probably even like when we go on our vacation, is just when I'm in downtime, sit in the computer and start taking a lot of our recipes that we've made videos on recently, like the mac and cheese one, and actually write them out and put them up on the website.
I see Denise says that there's a birthday for Logan today. 6 years old.
Yep.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Logan. Happy birthday to you and many more. So many more. December 7th is also my little brother Steven's birthday.
Marie said, my hubby woke up with Bell's palsy 3 years ago. He had difficulty eating because of it. At 6'4" and lean, he lost too much weight. He's been eating carnivore with me, and he's now gained a healthy 20 pounds.
That is awesome. And thank you for that reminder. If everybody isn't here to just lose weight. There's other reasons to do keto. And if you are trying to get, if you have had fertility issues, if you are dealing with an eating disorder, if you are having situations where you need to bulk, absolutely. You can utilize proper nutrition will get you to your goal, whatever your goal may be.
Shayla
Shayla.
Just found out my husband has a
subpitoma
brain tumor. I want to binge with this news. Found out on Saturday through an ER visit. Need strength for this journey.
Okay, I am writing your name down. We're definitely going to be praying for you. Reach out. This is definitely a time, if you are not part of our mighty networks, go to members.twocrazyketos.com, get into community. If you're going through this and having to a lot of times be brave for your partner that's going through this journey, and you want to make things as pleasant for them as possible, but you're scared and you're hurting and you need somebody to talk to, don't try to go through this season by yourself. Leverage community. That's why we're here. That's what it's there for.
Yep. Gladys said, question, how can we avoid developing fine wrinkles on my face? I've lost 80 pounds in 4 months due to a hiatus hernia. I require an operation, but I told my doctor that I will when I lose another 70 pounds.
Don't smile. I'm getting a lot
Listen,
of them right here.
as we get older, are we going to develop wrinkles? Yes. Things like beef tallow and all that kind of stuff can really help. That's what Rachel uses, just like, kind of limiting the makeup and all the chemicals that I put in the makeup and using natural lotions, like things like beef tallow, bacon grease.
Remember, your skin is your largest organ. Yeah. So we like taking care of it and like what we put on it, it makes a huge difference.
Chris said, to quote Autumn, if you hate yourself thin, you will hate yourself then.
Right. You're always going to hate yourself. If you hate yourself, you will hate yourself.
Roxanne said, I feel this to Rachel. I wish I could have known this years back when my son was younger. He's 22 now.
Yeah, same as Caleb. So it's just, it's hard, and we have to forgive ourselves as parents. And I had to have this like real talk because for a while, several Christmases, I was still doing it the old way for them. I would put on like a keto spread for us to eat and then add the things that like the donuts and the cookies that I felt like I owed to them to keep up. And I had to sit down and say like, hey guys, I am not going to make this stuff anymore, buy this stuff anymore. And it's not that I don't love you, but I have to stop this. And I have to break ties with it. And I don't want to keep on being a bad parent in this department to you. And I know that you're an adult and you will buy it if you want it. So I won't worry that you won't have access to it if it's something that you really want to have during the holiday season. But as for me, I'm going to find another way to say I love you and spoil you. I mean, we're managing to do that with Peyton. Like, we're going to still be those grandparents that spoil our grandbaby, but we're going to spoil her with experiences, time spent together, and toys. That's what we going to do.
Yeah, we
can do the same thing for our older kids as well.
I know John Paul, like, we were at Universal Studio with them a couple weeks ago, and we get a discount as annual pass holders, and I got her, like, this little Dr. Seuss thing, and John just looks and goes, when we were kids, we didn't get souvenirs. Like, yeah. You're not the grandbaby.
We would usher them like right through us, how every ride empties out at a souvenir shop.
Souvenirs, but they were souvenirs from the dollar store. Because when we were gonna go, Rachel would fill her backpack with, we're gonna go on Pirates of the Caribbean,
and
it was a $1 pirate patch that she found in the dollar store. And when they go, hey, I want a souvenir, here you go.
Yeah.
Dawn, what is your favorite keto holiday treat, Rachel and Joe?
What a fun question.
Okay, so this is going to sound boring, but like I don't really look at the holidays with a lot of treats. It's more of, aside from like the experiences, I love making people cry. That sounds bad, but I do really like people. Like my goal is always
warm-hearted things.
What can I give Rachel that's going to make her just bawl on Christmas? And this is the first year, she keeps pestering me.
I have asked a million ways.
She has no idea what she's getting for Christmas.
I've tried to noodle it out of you.
By a month before Christmas,
he's usually an easy mark.
I've given it to her. Right. And I'm determined that she will not know because I just want to see the bawling tears this year. That's my goal.
I can't even imagine what you're getting.
I want to top the year that I took the boys and got family photos.
The family photo year, I thought I was going to like...
I want to top that. That's the goal this year.
It was pictures of Joe and the boys together. It was...
I'm using it to my advantage because she's like, how much is it? Because I'm like, I don't want a present. And she's like, but I need to spend the same amount. I'm like, $5,000.
And I was like, $5,000? It could be $50.
She's like, fine, I'll spend $5,000. I'm like, have at it. Because like, if you want me, I know you're not going to spend $5,000.
I'm the cheapest person.
But like, it's looking, but so here's the thing. Let me put the question back up. When it comes to food, my favorite holiday treats, it's not that I have a treat, it's things that I allow myself during the holidays that I won't eat for the most part the rest of the year because I will tend to overeat it. And so for me, that comes down to like my cranberry sauce. Like I don't make it the rest of the year because I love it that much. It's like a jelly. So I allow myself the cranberry sauce. We have an eggnog recipe. I allow myself to have the eggnog. Again, very, very high in fat. Like, I could drink the whole thing and have like 10,000 calories in a day. The Ketochow pumpkin sausage soup. So it's not that I have like, oh my gosh, my favorite cookie. Now, things like peppermint keto brick, like when you think of holidays, that would definitely be like a candy cane kind of thing.
For me, I would say that I've enjoyed having, like, buying myself a little something nice like the clean keto desserts. And that is because, again, I'm very cheap. So I don't like to buy something frivolous, and I think that like a dessert is normally pretty frivolous. So that's not something that I would normally buy. But during the holiday season, I like to have something nice, and I really like the clean keto because it comes in a pretty package as well. So I feel like I'm truly having a present.
Right.
And experiencing something nice. So that's usually my favorite thing to do, is just allow myself to have a nice little treat, and also to be a little bit extravagant in buying it.
JJ said what Joe is saying is so true. I took a break. It lasted 2.5 years. The way to get back on is to just get back on. People like Joe, Rachel, Steve, Dr. Barry, Chris, and Miriam helped a lot.
I hope we're a help, JJ. Thank you.
Jujubee said, okay, Rachel, Joe needs a tomahawk steak
Right,
for
I'm
his
hearing
birthday
that.
this week. You know what? I don't really need a tomahawk steak. And listen, to me, the tomahawk steak, I'm not, first of all, a connoisseur of beef. Like, giving me Wagyu beef is just, like, you're wasting it. It's like
fancy wine.
It's like giving...
We wouldn't know.
It's like giving a teenager, or not a teen, a 21-year-old who just finally got legal going, this is a $500 bottle of wine. They don't know the difference.
I don't know the difference.
Right? And I don't either. But, like, the tomahawk steak is honestly, like, one of the biggest kind of scams with the beef industry, because they charge
really
you.
cool.
It looks really cool, and they charge you for that, but you're paying for a lot of bone. Like,
right.
When you look at price per pound of the meat, you're paying a ridiculous amount. What I'm getting for my birthday, what I want for my birthday, and what I'm getting is we're going to Rodizio Grill.
Right.
Because for two reasons. Number one, on Black Friday, we may or may not have bought like
all of our
$300 or more of gift cards, because it was basically buy one get one free. And then also they gave me a Rodizio dinner for $1 on my birthday. It's actually good for 14 days.
The price is right.
That I actually, like, if you came to me and said, I will take you to the most expensive steak restaurant, like it's $100 for a 12-ounce, prime rib, or you can go to an all-you-can-eat beef place, I want the all-you-can-eat beef place.
Right.
Because I like variety, and I like having different flavors, and like...
And everybody's different. That may not be somebody else's choice.
No, that's why I said me. I like going to a Brazilian steakhouse and going, listen, I know what my favorites are. I like the bacon wrapped chicken. I love flank steak. But I also like having, like, oh, yeah, I'll take a piece of that top sirloin. Oh, yeah, I'll take a piece of that lamb. I like having a lot of different things.
All the things.
It makes me feel like I'm not just going into a restaurant, like, you can have one thing. Like, even when you go to, like, a steak restaurant, like, there's a lot of things you can't have.
Right.
And so, like, your plate kind of looks plain because you have one thing. Whereas here I can have a lot of things.
All I can remember is there was an old Family Guy episode where he was talking about like how nervous it made him when somebody would pose the question, do you want soup or salad with your food? And be like, soup, no salad, no, soup.
I want both.
No salad. And then he picks, and I think he said soup. And then it was like, that was the salad that got away. Because that's what you're thinking is like, if I have to make a decision,
I don't want to make a decision.
Was it the lamb that was going to be awesome tonight? And I got the steak of, the beef steak.
Joanne said, thank you so much for the mozzarella stick tip.
Oh,
no
cool.
problem. Yeah, that's it.
Ooh, I like your little bow in your hair.
That's why they get gooey. Ramona said, hi from Sedgefield, South Africa.
Hi.
Carnivore for 3 years. Thank you for all you do.
Thanks for being here.
Karen said, I have been so inflamed this weekend. I had a bout of gout in my big toe. So painful. Today is better, but no more sugar.
Yeah.
Still waiting for a vanilla Ketochow so I can do peppermint extract.
Yum. Yeah, no, It's Steve from Ketochow, who's also had to deal with gout, and he's the one that like just put it in our minds like pain is a powerful motivator.
Right.
And it is so painful. I'm so sorry that you're going through some inflammation right now.
Brandon said, Joe, when I was living in South Florida, I went to a place called John Pennekamp. And they had underwater strategy at John Pennekamp State Park.
Yeah.
It's in Key Largo. A lot of people go snorkeling there. We have not had the opportunity. The last time we went there,
it was terrible weather.
The weather was horrible. And
no visibility.
But that is a place that I want to book. It's very difficult to get in with the RV. And the places where we can stay for free in the Keys or for $20 in the Keys are a lot further away. So I just want to RV and stay there and go scuba diving there with Rachel because it is pretty shallow. And they do have like the Christ statue of the abyss that's there. And so, yeah, a lot of it's gorgeous water, right? It's only about an hour and a half from our house. Tina said, is shabu shabu like what they have the meat at Costco thin enough for meat chips? I plan to get a dehydrator. I like it a little bit thinner, but yes.
It'll work.
The shabu shabu will work to make meat chips. And last one, Joanna said, I'm tightening up my carb counts, letting carbs creep back into my life. Does anyone include erythritol carbs in your total count? I usually don't. I would.
Yeah.
And now, whether or not erythritol actually gets absorbed by the body is a whole different discussion. My beliefs are, if it goes in, somehow your body's going to do something with
Something's
it.
happening.
Whether it's good or not. So like even allulose, like there's more and more studies showing there's a lot of benefits to allulose. Allulose can help you with your blood sugar. It gets handled in your body very differently. But if it's helping with your blood sugar, your body's still doing something with it. Okay, so there's no free food. There's no free food. Okay, like regardless of what Weight Watchers says, there's no 0 point food.
There's not a 0 point food.
And a friend of ours just actually had a thing where they had gone on Weight Watchers and they're like, can you explain to me how, like, you know, eggs are 0 point? Because that's when you eat one. But when I see, oh, it's a 0 point food, I can eat 100. But that's not, listen, it's a bit of a joke, you know? So there's no free food. So my idea is, yes, count the erythritol. The best reason, aside from the fact that you don't want to overdo it because there are carbs in it, the best reason to count your erythritol carbs, to count your fiber carbs, especially when it comes to desserts. Like if you don't want to count the fiber that's in your asparagus, you're fine. Asparagus didn't get us fat. But when you're looking at keto treats, things that have erythritol and added fibers and things like that, you want to count the total carbs so you don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, let's take a mug cake, like that cinnamon roll mug cake we were talking about. That
it's so
cinnamon roll
good.
mug cake is amazing. And I don't remember how many total carbs are in it, but I know it's up there because it's got a bunch of erythritol. But it's also got like 4 tablespoons of butter. I think it's like 390 calories. I think it's 3 tablespoons of butter.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No, but if you're counting net carbs, and a lot of people start keto and they hear us say just don't eat carbohydrates and you don't have to count anything. And so they'll be like, well, that if I'm counting net carbs, they'll be like, well, that's only 1 net carb, so I can have 10 of them. But now you ate 3,000 calories worth of butter. You're not going to lose weight on that. So by putting a total carb cap and counting all of the carbs, you say, okay, I'm going to have that mug cake. I can have 1.
Well, and it just by doing that, it brings down all the levels of the other things.
Right.
Like
because you don't want to overdo it.
So you're by doing a total carb protocol when it comes to any keto treat, you're automatically bringing down fat. You're bringing down like how much sweetener you're using, and you're making a lot more room for your meat that you want to lead with.
Right. So that is our opinion on it. I would count all of it, even if you up your total carbs. I'd rather you count the erythritol, but instead of saying I'm going to eat 20 total carbs, eat 30 total carbs. But it still will probably only allow you to eat 1.
Thank you for that question, though, because it's really a great opportunity for us to share our thoughts on that and hopefully help some more people.
Okay, that is going to be today's Keto Beyond the Couch. We will be back live, hoping we have internet, on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, live from Orlando. We have a couple other videos coming out. Don't forget tomorrow, make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe button. because tomorrow we have a video coming out on how to make your own creamer. You don't even have to just use it for coffee. You can use it for other things as well. So you're definitely going to want to catch that video tomorrow. Next Monday's Keto Beyond the Couch will be pre-recorded.
That's right.
But we will be live in the chat, so it'll be a premiere. But next Monday, we have to be in Miami by 12 o'clock, so there's no way we can do the live and then make it to Miami, because Miami traffic is worse than driving on the Long Island Expressway in New York.
Somebody has a teleporter.
Yeah, that would help.
We would really like that for Christmas. If you guys have a teleporter, we would totally just putting that out there. Dr. Spock, Captain Kirk, I would really appreciate that.
Have a great week, guys.
We love you.